If you ever find yourself wondering why certain people dislike you, let me tell you something up front. There are two sides to that coin. Some of it is their problem, and some of it is yours. Success, personal growth, and influence all come at a cost, and sometimes that cost is the resentment of others. But let's be wise about this. Instead of reacting emotionally, let's step back and evaluate. Why do people hate you? Is it because of their own struggles? Or is it because of something you're doing that needs to change? Let's break it down. 1. They envy your success. Ever notice how people act differently when you succeed? At first they cheer you on, because trying is safe. But the moment you make real progress, land a promotion, build a business, improve your health, some pull away. Their compliments feel backhanded. You hear things like, "Must be nice to have that kind of luck." It's not about you. Your success reminds them of what they haven't done. Instead of feeling inspired, they feel exposed. Resentment is easier than self-reflection. Sometimes it's subtle. A friend stops reaching out, a coworker dismisses your hard work, or people who once encouraged you now make snide remarks. So what do? First, don't shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You earn this, own it. Second, keep growing. The right people will be inspired, and the rest, let them go. Not everyone is meant to go with you to the next level. 2. They misunderstand you. Have you ever had someone twist your words or assume the worst, even when you meant well? No matter how clearly you communicate or how good your intentions are, some people will misinterpret you. Why? Because people don't see things as they are. They see them through their own fears, biases, and experiences. Think about it. Have you ever given feedback only for someone to take it as an attack? Made a life change? Only for others to see it as a rejection of them? Stood up for yourself and suddenly became difficult? Often people aren't really misunderstanding you. They're projecting themselves. Don't waste energy explaining yourself to those who refuse to understand. Clarify when needed, but don't beg for approval. You can't control how people see you, only how you carry yourself. And finally, accept that not everyone will get it, and that's okay. 3. They fear change. Ever notice how people get uncomfortable when you start improving your life? You work harder, eat healthier, or grow financially, and instead of support, you get resistance. You've changed, they say. But what they really mean is, I'm afraid of being left behind. People fear change, especially when it forces them to reflect on their own choices. Your growth challenges their comfort zone. It's easier to criticize you than confront their own inaction. Maybe you quit drinking, and friends act like you're judging them. Maybe you start a business, and family asks why you don't. Just get a safe job. Of course, you've changed. That's the goal. So what do? First, recognize their fear isn't your problem. Second, don't let guilt hold you back. You're not leaving them behind. They're choosing to stay. Third, surround yourself with people who embrace growth, not resist it. Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. Keep growing, and the right people will grow with you." Before we continue, if you find the content interesting, please subscribe to the Mature Soul channel so you don't miss the next videos on personal development. You will find content that inspires you to challenge and change the way you look at life. Now let's talk about the tough part. Sometimes you are the reason people don't like you. If you keep running into resistance, take an honest look at yourself. Are you creating unnecessary enemies? Let's examine 3 possible reasons. First, maybe you lack tact. Tact is the ability to deliver honesty in a way that people can actually receive. Without it, your words might create resistance instead of understanding. People may shut down, get defensive, or even resent you. Not because you were wrong, but because you made them feel attacked. And here's the real question. Are you trying to help or just trying to be right? Think about times this has happened. Maybe you gave a friend advice they needed but weren't ready to hear. And instead of gratitude, you got silence. Maybe you corrected someone's mistake, but they focused more on your tone and the truth. Or maybe you pointed out a problem at work, but instead of a solution, you got labeled as difficult. The truth isn't always the problem, the delivery is. So how do you fix this? First, ask yourself, does this need to be said? Not every truth needs a voice, especially if it won't create positive change. Second, ask, how can I say this in a way that builds rather than tears down? A little kindness goes a long way. And third, know your audience. Some people need directness, while others need a softer approach. Second, you don't value relationships. Success and hard work will take you far, but without strong relationships, they only go so far. Have you ever been so focused on your goals that you neglected the people around you? If others dislike you, it may not be your ambition. It may be that they don't feel valued. It's easy to get caught up in work and self-improvement, but people remember how you made them feel. You might think, they should understand I'm busy, but if you always put tasks above people, don't be surprised when they stop showing up for you. Think about it. Have you lost touch with friends due to busyness? Dismissed someone's feelings because they seemed irrational? Burned bridges in the name of honesty? You may be achieving a lot, but are you doing it alone? What's the solution? Recognize relationships aren't distractions, they're assets. Invest in connection. A small check-in or kind word goes a long way. Balance truth with empathy. Honesty doesn't mean being cold. Third reason, you refuse to grow. Have you ever met someone who never changes, who clings to the same habits, beliefs, and excuses year after year? Maybe they complain about their job but never seek new skills. Maybe they struggle in relationships but refuse to self-reflect. Over time, people stop taking them seriously, not because they aren't capable, but because they won't grow. Growth isn't automatic. It requires effort, discomfort, and the willingness to admit when you're wrong. If you reject feedback, blame others for your problems, or insist that this is just who I am, people will lose patience. No one wants to invest in someone who refuses to improve. Think about it. Have you resisted learning something new because it felt too hard? Rejected advice because it challenged your beliefs? Dismissed criticism instead of using it to grow? These small choices add up. If you refuse to evolve, people will outgrow you. So what can you do? First, accept that growth is a lifelong process. The best never stop learning. Next, seek feedback even when it's uncomfortable. The truth might sting, but it helps you improve. And the final, take action. Reading, listening, and planning mean nothing without execution. What do you think about the above reasons and solutions? Please leave your opinion in the comment section. And remember to subscribe to our channel to watch the next videos. Thank you and goodbye.